Hi everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. I hope you had a really good weekend, okay, and I hope you have a good week moving forward. So, looking at the markets here, there is a drop today, 1%. It's not much, but we are over $1 trillion again, market capitalization for crypto here. We're sort of just edging across that level there, that big, massive psychological level of $1 trillion right there, And the market is a bit flat the past few days. It is a bit flat. We sort of ran into resistance, a bit of a fake out, and we're coming back down. We're retracing, and we're looking for the continuation of this trend that we're in, which is basically an uptrend at the moment because we're breaking above the EMAs on key time frames. So what we do need to see, obviously, is this follow through and this continuation and the anticipation of this big wave 3 taking us above that monthly 55 EMA this week. And if Bitcoin doesn't get there, then I'm going to change my projection here that we sort of bottomed out and basically Bitcoin's looking for a low price. And I will go through this with you as to where I think you're looking to come down for Bitcoin, and there's a bit of confluence to that as well. That if it does start to not close this month out above the 55 EMA and take out that key resistance, it could in actual fact be turning the monthly 55 into key resistance instead of support. And with that, you've got to pay attention to that data telling us that if you consistently do that, it's forcing you down, and that's the way it is. Okay, you can't keep closing below the 55 EMA and the 20 especially on your time frames, the most important time frames, because that just contributes to the pressure pushing you down. Do you understand? It's like a big weight on your head pushing you down, keeping you under the water. You've got to get back above that, and the first thing you need to do is get back up and breathe, basically. At the minute, Bitcoin is kind of being suppressed. It's being forced into a decision, and one in which I think will sort of come to fruition this week, whether or not we break out to the upside or we roll again. And if we do roll, I'm going to give you an amazing target for Bitcoin. If we do roll, and there's a bit of confluence to that target, that is an absolute on the money dollar cent target that I'll give you. Okay, but please be aware that it's nothing I say is financial advice. This is for all for education and entertainment purposes only. But right now, if we take a look in the last hour, we've got certain alts that are pumping. Look at that in the last week. That stacks just there, currently 89. You've got Engine Coin, which is doing really well. We spoke about that in a recent Ask Me Anything on Twitter. That was really cool, that Places thing. I'm going to get and organise and do that with the CoinsKid crew and community. The Places thing on Twitter was really cool. We spoke about Engine Coin last week and that, and it's doing okay from there at the moment. But anyway, this is a Bitcoin video, obviously, and what we do need to see is Bitcoin just pump. Okay, and at the moment you can see it's a bit lackluster, and also kind of taking up a slack. You've got Ethereum up 9.2% in the last 7 days. BNB's doing okay, 11%. If we go down the board here, your meme coins, your Doge coin is up almost 30%. Look at that, Shiba Inu, okay, is up 42% in the last 7 days. Avalanche, 29%. Is something going on? Polygon, Matic has had a beautiful 52% upside in the last sort of 7 days. Now, a lot of people say it's a bear market rally, possibly, who knows? But, at the minute, there is a little confluence to the fact that we did put the bottom in a couple of weeks ago, but we do need to see that held. And like always, I'll show you the support and resistance, and if it's not held, where you'll get fruitful putting bids in, because it's where you always bounce, okay? So at the minute, we are above that $1 trillion market capitalization. We're sort of holding above that. If we can stay above that, that's a nice psychological level to be above. Okay, so let's dive into the charts of Bitcoin. So looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame here, okay, I do think that I'm going to show you straight away. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago we nailed this bottom. We've been coming up ever since. Okay, and like I said to you, I got into Bitcoin down there. I didn't go all in with my life savings. Dollar cost average. I bought a bit of Bitcoin. You don't want to not buy these dips and then watch it do this, because the sheer FOMO and the emotions that you go through if you've not bought a bit at the bottom, trust me, you're up here and you start buying there, and then it retraces and you think, oh shit, it is a bear market and it's going to fall through this low, and there is always opportunity, the chance that it can as well, and you basically bought the top of a rally. This is why you buy the blood, you buy the fear, and like I said to you, when the RSI is in the weekly RSI is in the floor, it's always an opportunity to buy more. But again, nothing I say is financial advice. So straight away off the bat here, okay, I've said to you, the reason you found support here, the reason your wick down here was the week that lots of data pointing to that being the bottom, and so far so good. Look at these beautiful little upside candles. Now, can this continue? Can we create some kind of V-shaped recovery here for Bitcoin when everyone was fearful down here? Okay, the altcoins are doing well, but it's not a massive tick that, okay, the bottom's in, it's over, yeah, we're going to the moon and things like that. Could be, honestly it could be, but I wish I could tell you conclusively that it is. But one thing I do want to see going forward, if Bitcoin does start to roll at any point, this low here has to hold. And if we do start to, for example, roll over in the market, we break out this week, get back above a 55 EMA like I've shown you. If we do that and close out above, that's a massive tick. If we don't, that's a massive tick to suppression and being forced down, you know, and something on top of your head forcing you down to come even lower. Now, if you do start to come down and you're giving a precursor signals there by closing under key support, i.e. the 55 EMA on the monthly, if we consistently do that, then yeah, I do think the potential you're going to come down, retest that low quite significantly, and if you do lose it, I'm going to give you support and a reason why that is support. Okay, so let's take a look at this, why we bounced just there. When you look at the charts, I've always taught you that when you're coming down, swing high, swing low. Okay, and just there was coming down, we lost this swing high and we wicked just above the swing low of that swing high. So that's why I said to you here last summer, dollar and a cent, that's where you're going to bounce and you're going to come up, and you did. Okay, beautiful, fantastic, everyone thought I was a genius, but it's just price action. You just look at the left and it sort of gives the game away. For example, if we take a look at this here, as you're coming down here, you lost this swing high, so where's your next level support? Swing low down here, and that's where you found support. Job done. You move to this market just there, you got this up cycle, big blow off top, coming back down, where was your support? And that swing high just there. Look at that, fantastic. You know, you could have seen that before all this started to come down. You'll say, well, I reckon it's coming back down to that swing high there for a major level of support, and it did, you know. And that's as simple as it can be on all your projects, not just Bitcoin. Look to the left, look at the previous price action, and it would determine support and resistance going back up. Okay, again, if we start to break out here, you've got key levels of resistance, you've got that swing low there, you've got a swing high just there, you've got a swing low just there, you've got a swing high just there, you've got that swing low just there, and then you've got the major high, the all-time high just there. So you've got major levels of resistance going forward for Bitcoin that Bitcoin is going to have to work and get back above, you know, to say, hey, I'm bullish, but it's going to be hard. But anyway, aside from that, if we take a look at this here, you can say, okay, well, why did Bitcoin bounce there? Because look at that swing low there, that wick. Do you see that? That's exactly where Bitcoin found support. So if Bitcoin was to roll again, if it was to come down and sweep this low and lose this low, then you can just look to the left and see exactly where your next level support is. And it's that candle just there. Do you see that red candle just there? That's your next level support. So that will be a good area. If Bitcoin was to roll again, that would just be a good area to put some bids in, because you potentially see a big bounce like this again if the bottom's not in. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's a major level of support right the way off the bat. Okay, no hopium, no sort of thin air targets or anything like that, no Fibonacci or resistance to support lines. It's swing high, swing low, and I've taught you that, okay, the whole way. As a lot of coins came down in the summer here, we had massive bounces off the previous swing lows, okay, and it started to come up like 100 to 200% gains right there. It was amazing, you know. Solana absolutely melted faces. I think Solana went up from about $10 to $220, and it met my target and come down. You know, people say, do you ever get anything right? Well, you know, certain things you do if you're holding support is fantastic, but if you lose support, you're invalidating it, and I've always told you that. So anyway, aside from that, Bitcoin is having a beautiful little bounce here, and you could say, okay, well, if Bitcoin breaks out this week, okay, which we need to see, obviously, like I said to you, we need to see Bitcoin get its ass above that 55 EMA. If Bitcoin starts to break out, you're going to start to see some kind of V-shaped recovery here, pretty much like we did after this Corona dump. It's pure capitulation, some kind of wild V-shaped recovery back into the EMAs. Now, this is one thing that will give a game away for me. Like I said to you, if Bitcoin right now starts to come up quite violently and starts to get back above these EMAs, okay, and starts to hold them back to support, it will fall back into them at some point. That is extremely bullish for Bitcoin going forward. It's a major statement. So if you don't necessarily want to catch a falling knife or time the bottom, you could just wait for this retest that will come, whether it's down here, wherever. But whenever Bitcoin will get back above these EMAs and hold them back to support, okay, that would be an amazing tick right there to the continuation and the upside and the projected impulsive move that we're all anticipating here. And it could signify, okay, wherever the low was, that is your low. Do you understand? So it's not bullshit, it's not hopium, it's price action, it's the charts. And like I've always said to you, show me the charts and tell you the news. And equally, right now on the 5-day time frame, if we start to see Bitcoin come up, like I said to you, this median line of the 5-day Gaussian is constantly coming down, being drawn to the price by like a magnet. At the moment, that is currently sitting at 45154. If ever you see Bitcoin, ever, in the next 3 to 6 months to 1 year, whatever, whenever Bitcoin is closed back above this, okay, after falling out and capitulating, being red, that it's never not been a signal for a massive impulsive move to the upside where Bitcoin goes on to attack the high. Historical data shows us that, okay? Just like I said to you, if you start to close, you're going to capitulate, and we have, okay? This is why I was not bullish in all this section here, and I wasn't calling for the low at any point. I said to the potentially data, this is the low a couple of weeks ago, okay? Potentially, none of this I told you was the low down here, okay? And it is what it is. And as you started to close below this, boom, you're confirming your capitulation, what you've always done every single cycle. So if you're looking for a massive confirmation statement from Bitcoin going forward, wait for it to get back above the 55, the medium line, the 5-day Gaussian, close out above. As soon as you get that close above, see you later, mate. You're off into space there for Bitcoin. So, I wish everybody utmost luck in the world going forward in this cycle, okay? And like I said to you, buy blood, buy fear, and that's always the optimal entry points. And equally, opportunity never feels like opportunity. So I do apologise about the time. I'll do a more detailed look tomorrow on Bitcoin. But let's hope that right now we're going to create this V-shaped recovery, because that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But one thing going forward, we have to hold that low, because if we don't, that's your next level of support, where you will see a big bounce of Bitcoin around about 16198 for Bitcoin, okay? Take care, everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye-bye.